Hey y'all, I told you I would make a small video about um, the virus and the symptoms that Jake had and that I'm having now. Um, I know y'all are probably like, girl, you need to get it together with that face and hair, but you know what? This is what it is now. And if I apologize to anybody that is offended by this, just turn it off. But anyway, those of you who know us already know that Jake tested positive for coronavirus. He was tested last Wednesday, which was April 22nd, and they gave him the results Monday, which was yesterday, the 27th, and they told him it was positive. They gave him azithromycin to take, and he's been taking that. And even before all this, we've been taking for weeks. We've been taking vitamin C and zinc and drinking water, and we've been doing everything we can because my work said I was essential. Jake's work said he was essential. It was just kind of one of those things where, you know, you got to go to work. And I work part-time at the spine clinic, and then I teach the other part of the time. Well, Jake works full-time. And it got to where I couldn't take Hadley to my parents anymore without feeling like I was, exposing them to something for no reason. So we made a deal where Jake went to work, I stayed home with Hadley, and the days that he was off, I came to work, which worked out fine. But last week, he started showing symptoms of like a sinus infection. We had been out all weekend. We'd been out all weekend, like in the yard, doing yard work and stuff. So we figured it was just sinus allergy stuff because that's just, he gets that every year. And it was a low grade temp. He was running like 100.2, 100.4. And he did that like Monday and Tuesday. And all he said he had was like a headache. No shortness of breath, no chest pain, no nothing. Like it was just, I knew it was, that we just knew that's all it was. Well, come Wednesday, I went to work, and he said, my cough has changed a little bit. And when he said that, like, red flags went up, and I was like, okay, well, you need to go get tested. I came home a little after lunch, and he went and got tested about 4. And they told him then, go home, quarantine. Your lungs sound great. Go home and quarantine, like you have it until you know for sure. So that's what we've done. Last week, I went and did a Walmart grocery pickup. There was absolutely no touching of anything between me and the guy that brought my groceries to the car. Like, I didn't touch him. I didn't have a receipt. It was all online. Like, it was just completely hands-free, which is great now. And let's see. So we've had, and I found toilet paper because, I buy toilet paper every week anyway, always have, but I stopped when all this started happening because the toilet paper, and we had toilet paper, so I didn't want to be greedy. So I didn't buy any more, but I was running out, so I kind of needed to find some. So I got my toilet paper, got everything that I needed for the most part. And over this weekend, I had like a cough, but it wasn't anything serious. But of course, we were still like quarantined, so it wasn't, bothering anybody. It was just us 3 here. Well, by Monday, they called and said it was positive, so I started trying to do what I could do, start prayer chains, and get everybody praying for him and for us, because I knew. And they told him then, they were like, you need to quarantine yourself, you and your family, but you need to be in a separate room. And I understand why they say that, but I also know that we have been with him for 5 days, at least. I mean, we had been with him the whole time. We were exposed regardless. But when you tell people it would be 3 to 5 days, you need to be sure to tell them, and maybe they did, and Jake just didn't. I know, but I also knew that we'd already been exposed. But for those people who don't know, maybe they should say quarantine yourself to a certain room in the house and have no exposure to the other people, because it was kind of like that ship's already sailed, Once you call and tell us it's positive, we've already been around you. But we were around him before that, so like I said, it's not a big deal, but, we were like, well, and we've been distancing ourselves from him, and I've been, like, scrubbing stuff down, like, de-germing everything. And so Monday night, pretty much, Monday I had a cough, but then Monday night I started feeling some weird stuff in my chest, but I was like, I'm just getting in my head. It's just kind of one of those things where, you start thinking, like, is this what's happening? Like, do I have it now? Or am I just, and I thought, it's probably just anxiety, whatever, I'll get over it. Went to bed, got up this morning, and I had a big headache, and I was like, ugh. And I started thinking, okay, my chest felt better, but I was like, not feeling all that great. And I had plans to, like, paint the hallway today, because I was like, that's what I'm going to do while we're doing this, is just home improvement stuff. I didn't do that. It was like every bit of my energy had been drained out of my body. I had a headache, and I do not have fever. I have not run fever yet. I have chills off and on like I have fever, but no fever. So I'm not sure whether it could be or couldn't be. I called the place that did his testing and asked them and told them the symptoms I had, and she said, well, we won't test you. Generally, we don't test anybody. Like, if one person in the family tests positive, they just tell everybody else to assume you've been exposed, you have it, do what they do. So I was like, okay. And I have this stuff here to measure, his oxygen and blood pressure and temperature. I have all that here, so I know if our temperature goes really high or blood pressure goes really low or whatever, I know that we need to go. But as of right now, it's a fairly light case. Jake is real chesty sounding, coughing. He is doing the spirometer, the little breathing things they give you when you have surgery, just to keep his lungs moving. We're getting up, moving around the best we can, coughing, and when you cough, just coughing anything up and spitting it out. That's gross, I know, but a friend of mine she's a Facebook friend of mine, and she also teaches, she's part of the Christian VIP Kids Facebook page. She had it, and I watched her video several weeks ago, or a couple weeks ago, and that's where I got that, like, breathing in the steam, coughing out the stuff, just coughing it up. And so we've been trying to keep our lungs moving and doing what we can in that area, because that's really all you can do. Treating the fever with Tylenol, or headaches with Tylenol, but that's about it. But y'all, I'm telling you, it's so scary knowing that he had it, when a year and a half ago we almost lost him literally to pneumonia. I can't not say that it didn't scare me to death when he said it was positive. Even though I see his symptoms, I know he is nowhere near severe, but there's still, we don't still know a whole lot about this thing. It can change in an instant. So I'm still asking for prayer. I still know that people are praying for us, and you don't know how grateful that we are for that. Y'all, I have to tell you, if you don't have yourself surrounded with family, either like blood relative family or friend family, church family, or all of the above, guys, you need to get them, because let me tell you, we've had people from our church and our family bring us things. There was the most precious family from our church bring us supper, and she told me she was going to bring us chicken and dumplings, and I was like, that's wonderful. She brought us so much stuff to eat. I was like, oh my gracious, like it filled my countertop with food that I could put in the freezer, that I could just pop out, and it would be easy for me to do. And we have some of our best friends are bringing us supper tomorrow night. We've had people offer to cut our grass for us. People go to the grocery store for us, bring us things. Like, his parents have brought us stuff. My parents have brought us stuff, like, when we needed it. Like, if you don't have people to love on you and pray for you, and know that you can ask them for stuff if you need it, because everybody needs help. And me and Jake do not mind helping anybody at all. We're not great about saying, hey, I want to do this for you. When can I do this? What can I do? Type thing. We're not great about that. But I think after this, we definitely will be, that will be something that we're definitely going to work on. Because you don't know how much that is appreciated until you're in the position where if somebody offers that, you're like, I didn't even realize that was something that was weighing on me. But it was like cutting the grass. Like, I didn't even know that was something that I was concerned about. I mean, Jake probably was, because you know about his lawnmower. But when this family, our church is precious. I'm there. If you don't have a church, please message me and I will tell you where I go to church, and you can come and be part of our church family. But another family in our church offered to cut the grass. It's a father and son, and they're both in the Air Force, and they offered to come cut our grass. And even if it gets to where they can't because of weather or whatever, the offer is just overwhelming to know that that's one thing that we don't have to worry about. I mean, I could cut grass, but now I have symptoms. And now I have to take care of Jake, and I have to take care of Hadley, which is fine. And we're doing the best we can taking care of her from a distance. And having a small 7-year-old that, I guess it's a learning experience for her too. Learning that she can do more things than she thinks she can. Like pouring drinks. You wouldn't think that you would, but I don't even want to do that for her, because I don't want to touch anything that she's going to have her mouth on. But anyway, I know I'm rambling, but I just wanted to say thank you to everybody who's praying for us. Thank you to everybody who's bringing us food, brought us drinks, medication, ice, whatever. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The offers and the prayers are not going unnoticed, and I know that God will bless you for blessing us. And guys, just remember, if anybody has any questions, I'll try to keep updating as we go along so that people know what's happening. But y'all, please stay at home. We are deemed essential workers. Jake and I both are. And we had been going to work. But essential workers, and we're not even taking care of COVID-19 patients. But if you are an essential worker and you see other people out there not caring and just doing what they want to, and then you or your close family member ends up with it, especially one that has had lung trouble in the past, guys, it's really frustrating. It really is. So please stay home. Please do what you can. Take this time and be with your family at home, because it's going to be soon to where maybe not, to where you're back to your busy schedule and all that's going to be gone. So we have learned a lot in what's important and what's not, and where our priorities lie during this time. And guys, I'm just telling you, please stay home. Please take care of yourself. Do what they're asking you to do. And if I can answer any questions for anybody, or if we can help somebody, just let us know in the comments below. But thank you so much, and God bless every one of you.